What's up? How you doing, man?
I just unmuted myself. It's kind of embarrassing just sitting there for 5 minutes in front of the camera.
Waiting for that countdown to run out.
A little bit embarrassing.
It's fun though. It's when everybody starts to get nervous. They're like, "Oh no, it's about to go live." How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Doing awesome, my friend. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate that.
Heck yeah. So for everybody who doesn't know, this week we're joined by a very special guest. We have Chris Blair on. Chris Blair goes way back. He's another one of those print-on-demand e-commerce dinosaurs. We actually did a pretty lengthy interview with Chris Blair on Coffee with Michael before. This is probably our third one, I think. If you go back though and watch the first one, he goes through his entire kind of story, how he got started with e-commerce, and it's quite a story, if I remember right. Chris Blair is now an expat in Japan. He's been living there for near a decade now, right?
No, more than that. 25 years.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's basically Japanese at this point. And
I also lived in Taiwan for 1 year too. So
nice. And I've actually seen him screen share before, and all of the letters and everything on his screen are all in Japanese.
Yeah, my computer is Japanese. You can't buy English based Windows here in Japan. You can order from overseas, but I can read Japanese, so I just
Is your keyboard like have Japanese characters?
No. You type in Roman characters and then you choose the Chinese characters you want to use.
Does everybody
do that? You print. Yeah, it comes up. So you write down the sound, right, and then it'll automatically, the Japanese window will automatically give you. In Japan they use Chinese characters, right? So it'll give you the different Chinese characters of that sound, and you just select the one you want. It's really easy. Once you get used to it.
So it's like you just phonetically write out the word.
That's right.
That's crazy. We're all getting a cultural lesson here. Well, that's not the only cultural lesson that you're likely to get on today's Coffee with Michael, because we're also going to be talking a little bit about Mother's Day, and specifically Mother's Day in the UK. So, Look. Valentine's Day is behind us, right? So we had Christmas Q4. It's everybody in e-commerce loves that time of year. Then once that's over, we go through January. January can sometimes be a little bit of a lull, and then the buying picks back up again at a frenzied pace the first 2 weeks or so of February, and the run up to Valentine's Day. Then after that, people start going, "What's the next big holiday?" And I got to tell you, Mother's Day, specifically around here, Mother's Day is absolutely massive. At ShineOn, what we like to say is, if Christmas is our Super Bowl, Mother's Day in a way is our playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. It's absolutely massive. Everybody's going to be buying gifts. Big. Jewelry is going to be a perfect gift to be giving to the moms out there, the moms, the stepmoms, the grandmas, the bonus moms, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be talking all about that today. However, I'm going to take it a step further. Most people are just used to doing Mother's Day in the United States. Well, we now have our Amsterdam facility that completely opens up all of Europe, and specifically one giant market in the UK. Their Mother's Day is on March 27th. Yep. Might be a little tough to see, but I got it down here in the text. On March 27th is their Mother's Day. Ours in the United States isn't until May 8th, I believe.
May 8th.
Yeah, so you're getting some back-to-back holidays here. You're going to be able to sell. So Chris is here.
Here's the beautiful part. Here's the most beautiful part. You can start testing your ideas in the UK. When you find a winner, you can turn around. You may need to take a couple changes. I'll talk about that later. Make a couple little changes and then turn around and sell in the States. So you can literally have a 3-month Mother's Day selling period.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And you are spot on, by the way. Like, you find a winner early and you can ride it through the entire season. And we're going to be publishing some content later about all the different Mother's Days that you'll be able to take advantage of. So we're super excited to get into this.
And a lot of Mother's Day gifts will actually work for Christmas too. So it's just a beautiful time to start testing.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, dude. Hey, just so you know, there's a little bit of a I'm not sure what it is. It sounds like some scratching or something coming through your mic. It might be because you're is the mic on in the cord there?
Yeah, it's in the cord.
It might be because it's maybe dragging on your jacket a little bit. I'm not sure. Just a heads up on that. It's not that bad.
It might be hitting I think it's hitting on the zipper on my jacket. Hold on, let me take off my little park wrap on.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of keep going here. I won't go without you. So if you guys could do me a favor, if you're happy that Chris is here, I want you to show him some love. Like this post, engage with the post, react to it, all the fun stuff that Facebook lets you do to it. I also want you to go, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you're liking this post or this video on YouTube and dropping some comments. It really helps us in the algorithm. It helps us get discovered. Also, on Facebook, I want you to drop some hearts. Drop some hearts in the comments. Show Chris you love him. Show him that you care. Thank him for being here. Before we get into it, you know how we like to do things around here. We kick things off with a toast, right? Not forgetting today, people. Crisis averted.
It's 6:30 a.m. in Japan, so I'm using water. Sorry, guys.
There is a bit of I keep forgetting there's quite a bit of a time difference here. It's 6:30 in Japan, and it's 3:30 here in the United States. We have recorded this, by the way. It's not live. Surprise. All right, so raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, to upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in your niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Drink up. Ah, there we go. There we go. Now the juices are flowing.
Is the scratching gone?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, so I was hitting up against the zipper on the parker I was wearing.
Yeah, and every time you touch it, it kind of comes back. So, yeah, that's definitely what it was. You were right.
Cool. All right.
Yep. All right, let's get into some quick testimonials. Then we got some announcements, and we'll be right into the fun part here. So David here, finally got my first sale on Facebook after 2.5 months. Congratulations, David. $79.90 on that AOV. That's pretty sweet. $43 in profit. Way to go, buddy. Thank you to MD. I apologize, I can't say it, who provided the design set of viral ads. They probably came from our graphic design group. If you don't know, go to ShineOn Graphic Design inside of Facebook. We have our own group of graphic designers. They're amazing over there. So congratulations, David. Thank you so much for posting. You've got some swag coming your way, buddy. Leanne here, feeling super discouraged recently, and other products of mine on my shop have been selling. But I finally sold something from ShineOn. Super proud, feeling encouraged. This is just the beginning. $69.95 on the AOV, $41 in profit. Congratulations, Leanne. Thank you for sharing. Somebody from my team is going to reach out and bring you some swag. Jakaria, hi guys, remember me? Started ShineOn journey as a designer after. Oh yeah, I love this story. Started the ShineOn journey as a designer after getting inspiration from Zoffy. Zoffy's one of our account managers. I started my Facebook ads. I never lost hope. If I can do it, why not you? Just be focused and test. Thank you, Eric Taz and ShineOn team for the Q4 commission. Ishmael's head of our graphic design at ShineOn, and Zoffy, again, our account manager, helped me a lot to achieve this success. From my start until now, I'm getting all kinds of support from them. I'm very thankful for them. $106,000 in profit.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Now we're talking. That's awesome.
Congratulations, Jakaria. This story really warms my heart. He was a graphic designer from the graphic design group and found ShineOn, started selling, and who knows what kind of life this has made for him. So just congratulations, buddy. Thank you so much for sharing your success story here. You've got some swag coming your way. Somebody from my team will be reaching out, and you've got a t-shirt. You can get a really cool hoodie like the one I'm wearing right here. It's like kind of tie-dye. I like it. You can pick out anything you want at our merch store, shineonmerch.com. All right, if you want to get some free swag, we draw 2 to 5 posts from the group every single week. You can drop a testimonial with a screenshot, any kind of value post, tips and tricks. We love all of that stuff. If we feature your post here, we'll give you some free swag to go along with it. So please drop your post. You never know. You could get some swag coming your way. All right, latest news. We've got a handful of slides here, and then we'll be going, Chris. We just released engraved wooden watches. This just got released today.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've got our launch calendar this year is amazing.
That's amazing. Awesome. I'm excited.
we're doing it really good this year. We've got them kind of spaced out. Everybody's kind of on the same page. And so far we're firing on all cylinders. We've had some delays, which is kind of to be expected depending on, the product, but, I've been very, very, very happy so far. So it's looking great. So wood watches are here. Base cost $20 with the standard watch, 30 with the mahogany style luxury box. Our suggested selling price $70, $69.95 on the standard, and $89.95 with the mahogany style luxury box. So go check that out. So it should be right inside your catalog inside the platform of the app. It's pretty cool. Little water resistant here. It's kind of neat. Anyway, go check it out. It's really neat.
That's impressive. That is really impressive.
And these are going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm already excited about this. For Father's Day, that's going to be incredible.
Oh, that's not it. This isn't it, dude. We got some more coming up for Father's Day too. So stay tuned, man. It's going to be fun. All right. So we are launching a contest, right? We want to get your video testimonials for ShineOn. So we want to know how ShineOn has changed your life, what you think of the company, why you enjoy selling with us, all that kind of stuff. The winning video testimonial, we're going to give the winner $500, right? So $500. So if you want a chance to win $500, go record us a quick testimonial video. Now you can do this at bit.ly/SO for ShineOn contest. bit.ly/SO contest to record your video. It's going to take you to a form. It'll ask you for your name and your email. Try to give us the email associated with your ShineOn account. It just helps us keep track of things kind of on the back end. And right there on the page, it will walk you through how to record the video. Like you'll be able to do it right on your computer, or your phone, or whatever it is. It makes it super freaking easy. The contest ends next Friday at 11:59 p.m. EST, right? So you basically have till next Friday at midnight to record this video. The winning video testimonial, $500. So go check that out. bit.ly/SO contest if you'd like a chance at winning $500. Plus, we just want your video testimonials. They really help us here at the company to expand and things like that. So appreciate it and thank you. All right. You know all about our coaching. Kirsta's over there leading our coaching program. If you want in on it, you can go to coaching.shineon.com. Always on the cutting edge. We're getting into Snapchat, TikTok, obviously Facebook. We got all kinds of stuff going on over there. They're constantly working to keep that content fresh and updated. So go check that out, coaching.shineon.com if you want to learn more. Then we do our shots of espresso literally every week coming at you. We released a new one. This is our coffee with Michael from last week. So ignore that. Pretend that's a shot of espresso. We just released one today on how to set up your own testing strategy with Facebook. So Jim put that out there. So go check that out. If you want to find it, the easiest way is up at the very top of the Facebook group. Click featured. Click featured. This shows you all the stuff, all the good stuff. The coffee with Michael's, new product releases, new feature releases, the shots of espresso, anything that's worth knowing, you can find really quickly just by clicking that featured button at the top of the Facebook group. So I think that's it. Whew, got that done in 15 minutes, which might be a record around here. Let me get this down out of the way. So Chris, man, welcome to the party.
Thank you. Thank you. Second time.
Yeah, man. Is it the second or the third?
Second time.
Cool, man. Well, I know on the first one, we went way back. I mean, I think we went back to like 2006, retraced your roots all the way to present. So it's really cool. If anybody wants in on that, go check out that other video. Today, we're going to be talking about Mother's Day, right? We're going to be talking about the amazing opportunity that Mother's Day is, how we can take advantage of Mother's Day in the UK. And one of the things Chris, I really appreciate about Chris that he brings to the table is he's been doing this forever. Like almost all of his strategies, they're homegrown, they're unique. I mean, this guy has had time on the street. He knows what works, right? He knows how to think about these problems and solve them in unique ways versus a lot of other people that just kind of got spoon-fed a bunch of stuff from gurus. Chris has had to kind of forge his own way, right? So a lot of what he teaches, it's a little bit unique. I wouldn't say any of it's necessarily unconventional in any kind of way, but he uses some different sources and things like that. It's just, I learn something every time I talk to the guy. So anyway, I'm really happy to have you here. So Chris, why don't you, to kind of just kick things off, why don't you tell us a little bit about the opportunity of Mother's Day and kind of why you're excited about it and things like that.
Okay, cool. I mean, just to quick summarize, to those who don't want to go back and watch the whole video, I've been doing print on demand. I also did drop shipping as well, doing this whole e-com thing since 2013. So as you said in the last time, that makes me a dinosaur when it comes to this industry.
It makes you an old person in this industry. Yeah, you're like a sage.
Mother's Day is huge because it comes down to one thing. Who doesn't have a mother? Sorry, and second thing, and who doesn't have a passionate relationship with the mother and has a strong desire to show appreciation for their mom? I mean, there are some rare families out there that don't get along, but I would say 90 to 95% of the people, right? And if you think about the population of the United States, right, 350 million, and the population of, I think, UK is 35 million.
I'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, so, and if you also consider, you could go into, I wouldn't use Google Translate, by the way, guys, someone who speaks Japanese quite fluently. I've seen some translations from Google Translate from Japanese to English and vice versa, and it's like, whoa. So get a proper translation done, but you can sell with the Netherlands facility in other countries as well, right? You can sell in other countries, right? You can go into those other countries, and say you wanted to target Spain, but the problem, you may have an English checkout, right? With Shopify, right? That's fine. Just go target France, but then target people who speak English. And you can even sometimes sell English designs in these countries because English is kind of fashionable. It's kind of fashionable, right? It's just like in America. You probably don't realize this, but think about the words you use. There's tons of French words being used in standard English right now, and that's because back in 100 years ago, 200 years ago, French was a fashionable language across the globe. So actually, so there's two ways to sell in these other countries beyond English speaker market. One, you can get your designs translated, but make sure you target people with English language capability within that country, so that when they get to the checkout page, they can navigate that. But also sell them an English message. You'd be surprised. I have sold. I think well, Michael knows, but I've been in the beer niche for a long time. You'll be shocked at how many beer T-shirts and hats in English I've sold in Germany, Austria, Denmark, and the Netherlands.
Yeah, totally, man. All those markets are huge, and don't forget too, almost all of them have, beyond the fact that many people are bilingual, and beyond the fact that, like you said, English can be fashionable. So even for like folks that aren't bilingual, they'll still use English from time to time. You also have large expat communities over there. So there's tons of buying opportunity even within the English language. Real quickly.
And expat, by the way, I think is a target on Facebook. You can target by expat.
Yeah, you're right. Languages. Yep. In the UK, 67 million people.
67 million. Okay.
In Mother's Day is March 23rd. So, I mean, it's literally 1 month away from the day of this recording. So it's just under a month away.
March 27th.
Ah, shoot, man. I keep screwing that up. It's March 27th. I'm not sure why I got that stuck in my brain. It's like the third time Chris and I were talking before the call. I kept screwing it up. So it's March 27th. So it's just a little over a month away, right? But like you have plenty of time right now to get some Mother's Day phrases and designs and things like that set up and start testing. And if you can hit on a winner for UK, you would now have a winner in your back pocket for the US and probably any other more like kind of westernized country out there. Now, cool thing about the UK is most people in the UK are going to be speaking English, right? I'm probably 100%, near 100% anyway.
Also talking Ireland as well. Ireland as well, right? So one thing you got to keep in mind, though, and I, if you saw my posts from about a week ago when I reminded, apparently I was the first one to bring up Mother's Day in the group because some of your staff commented, you beat me to it, Chris." They don't call, okay, that's not true universally, but majority of people in the UK don't call their mom, M-O-M. Majority of people call it
Glad
mom.
You're bringing that up.
M-U-M. This is really critical because, and by the way, I discovered this in the past because, I've sold in the UK market in the past, and I had a Mother's Day thing that was getting just yeah, I was getting tons of comments and shares on the posts, and sales were just horrible. And I'm like scratching my head, what is wrong? So, and I don't know what inspired me, but I actually posted my product in my own course mastermind group, right? And I said, anyone from England could tell me, am I missing something? Is there a cultural thing that I'm missing? And immediately, one of the members of my own personal group, right, said, Chris, we call our mom. I'm like, oh, F. I mean, I was really, and then I was like, ooh, that was a huge epiphany, right? So you got to sometimes pay attention. When you sell a product in that country, if you can, you want to access someone from that country and just check a few things, because you can miss those cultural differences, and that can be the difference between having a big winner and not.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Do you know about any other kind of nuances like that specific to the UK?
Yeah, the humor is different, right? If you're going to use the humor angle, a lot of jokes will be work on both ends, but there are some humor differences. So when you use humor, which I'm going to suggest you guys do for some of these, you'll see in the product angles here. Yeah, you definitely want to get that checked, right? Have you ever seen Mr. Bean? Who's ever seen the show Mr. Bean?
Yeah.
A lot of Americans think that's boring, but UK people will roll over, they're just dying of laughter.
Yeah, so, you're right. There's definitely a different, my wife actually loves BBC television. I mean, that's almost all she watches. And in fact, if we get a show that's popular here, like, I don't know, Downton Abbey or even the Sherlock shows, she will literally go find the BBC versions and watch those instead. And it's because there are some subtle differences, even in the storytelling, in the humor, and even some of the story arcs and things like that. So I think you're right. It feels like we're all the same because we're speaking the same language, we wear the same clothes, that kind of thing. But there are some subtle differences. Thankfully, all we're doing is selling message cards here. We're not doing rocket science. So
I would say majority of the humor that you use will translate fine, but it might not. So you can go ahead and start testing, but if you have an opportunity to check with someone from that country, I would ask them.
Yeah, it just all comes down to testing.
Yeah,
right.
There's two ways. You can ask someone their opinion if you don't have access, or you can just throw up $2 $5 conversion ad sets, right? And if you're getting a total dud reaction from it, clearly something's off.
So let's talk a little bit about. We'll come back to testing real quick. I want to talk a little bit about your product research.
Okay.
Right. So sure. I'm gonna bring us back full screen, and guys, I'll jump back and forth here between the notes if you want. It's the first time I've actually done that in a coffee with Michael, but felt like it was important to have a visual up there. So I want to talk a little bit about product research. We don't have to spend tons of time on it, but you are the man, in my opinion, when it comes to product research. I mean,
thank you.
You think about it on a completely different level than most people. So tell us how you would approach your phrase research as we move into Mother's Day here. Like, how would you specifically tackle it?
Okay. The first thing I would do is not go look at Etsy bestsellers unless you do something special, which I'll talk about in a second. And I would not go to Spy Software and just search and try to directly model what the bestsellers are. And I know that people are preaching that in the marketplace, but it's the fucking easiest thing to do. Sorry to get so angry. And you are basically a lamb, right? Being guided by the Etsy bestseller herder to the slaughterhouse, because everyone is using the same expressions over and over and over again at nausea. And there's nothing unique about your product whatsoever. So, if you're going to do that, if you're going to go to the Etsy bestsellers, you should use Michael and I have been using the same technique, and he actually named it. I was doing it for a long time. I didn't come up with the fancy name. Thank you.
I got the TM.
Franken phrases, right? That if you're going to do that method, you definitely want to use Franken phrases. And I've been doing that since 2014, but you named it. So you want to explain what that is, Michael?
Well, yeah, all of us are using the same methods at the end of the day. Yeah, but it's just you you look for signals on which phrases are doing well, right? And you try to kind of figure out what is resonating from the phrases. And then what I do is I make a bank, almost like a phrase bank. And there's segments of different phrases that kind of do well. And then what I'll do is I'll just franken phrase a new phrase together. So I'll take a little bit of this one, and I'll take a little bit of that one, and I'll take the salutation of this one or whatever. And I'll just kind of piece them all together and then test that. And that you basically have a phrase generator at your fingertips if you create something like that. That's what I do. Is that what you do?
I do that a lot. That's something that I do. But I also, I will go onto Amazon or even AliExpress, for example, or eBay, and I'll search, necklace, right? And there are tons of message, pendant necklace they sell on there. And I would sort by bestsellers, but instead of looking on page, 90% of the people are going to look on page 1.
That's easiest. Yep.
50% of people are going to look on page 2. 25% of people look on page 3. And then you maybe 10% people are going to look on page 4. And then no one's going to look at page 5. I start on page 5. Okay. And the reason why is just because it's not on the bestseller list does not mean that is not a good product. There's numerous reasons why. Okay, on AliExpress or even on Etsy or even on Amazon, they won't be. First of all, the ranking has a lot to do with how long the seller of that particular, the manufacturer, wherever that person is on, been on Etsy, been on AliExpress, been on Amazon, right? So they automatically get a boost over a newbie. Okay, number 2 is, especially when it comes to AliExpress and the drop shipping world, right? The drop shippers go pounce on these top listings, right? And they start driving them up. And so if a listing on AliExpress, like a pendant necklace, right, with this little message on there, doesn't get sales quickly, it drops. And if this drops and it goes into this the search purgatory, and that doesn't mean it's not a good product. So if you understand your market, right? And this is I teach when I teach people who sign up for both my course and mastermind, but also my private coaching. I teach this phrase. You've seen it, market master. The first thing you want to do is do some research on your niche. Look for necklaces. Look for memes, right? Look for t-shirts, whatever, right? Look for products and find out what has been resonating, right? What kind of message, what kind of angles, I call them angles, resonate. Then you can go on to these other sites, look at stuff that's not ranked high, and say to yourself, that's not ranked high because no one's really pushed it. I will test that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense what you're saying. Like, if I could just summarize what you're saying, you're basically saying get to know the audience you're selling to really, really well. Become a master of the niche you're going after. And in that process, you'll learn what that niche is buying. You'll develop like an intuition for it. Your spidey,
right.
you'll get a little antenna or a spidey sense for it.
That's right.
Then you can go out and start doing some of these more unique product research methods, like going to Alibaba or AliExpress sorting by bestsellers and starting on page 5, for example. Yeah. And what is going to work will hopefully, if you become a market master, will hopefully kind of jump out at you.
That's right.
And then you can take something that's maybe even in a completely different niche and spin it.
That's
work in your niche, right?
That's absolutely correct.
So how would somebody, I mean, it's Mother's Day, right? So a lot of our folks, they're going broad. They're not niche down, right? So how would you suggest somebody develop that spidey sense relatively quickly too? Because
it's not rocket science. So if you spend a few hours in the afternoon and you really dig into it, or evening, you can absolutely do it. So, I mean, if you this is jumping into the product angles I'm going to teach you guys here in a bit. But
you want me to pull them up or
wait? Okay. Well, no, it's fine. Number 5 is niching. Okay. And so most people are going to go after the broad mom. Okay. And the upside of doing that is there's obviously a bigger market, right, of people. But the downside is everyone's going after broad mom.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Broad targeting.
And their cousin and their uncle and their dog has got a ShineOn site, and the dog's targeting mom. Okay, so by doing that, you're swimming in the most you're fishing in the pond where most people are fishing, and your odds of success goes down significantly low. But if you think about it, okay, what you would want to do, what I'm going to do, and I encourage people to do is go into Google, right, and think about moms. Right, most moms are somewhere, say maybe people are going to buy, right, it'll be in their late 20s and 30s. They're buying from moms who are in their 50s and 60s, right? The older moms, right? Because people are going to sell to, right? Now, you can sell for younger audiences, but then they got to get permission to get the dad's credit card to buy and all sorts of stuff, right? So that's the main target, right? Okay. Popular hobbies for ladies in their 50s and 60s. Yeah. Google research that. I can tell you some right now. Tennis, golf, knitting, this horseback riding, believe it or not, motorcycles. There's a whole plethora of women who are really into motorcycles, right? It's astonishing, by the way. I was surprised how big that audience is when I looked at when the Facebook I put motorcycle age 30 and up and bicycles, and I was like, what? There's millions of these people, right? So you would do to my horsebacking mom, to my, give me another niche, beer drinking mom, wine drinking mom, right? Hey, some people consume alcohol like it's a hobby.
I don't know why. Well, also don't forget
shopping mom.
So, okay, I'm totally tracking with you here. And here's the other thing: if you catch a winner in a niche, there's a chance you can walk it back and go more broad with it.
That's right. But here's the thing about the niche. When you do a niche, the easiest thing to do is to go to my horsebacking mom, maybe put a little horse image on your message card. But take it the next step. Try to use phrasing with messaging within the message to speaks that language.
Like needs.
So for, I mean, this is an example off the top of my head. I had one, and as I was about playing back in my mind for the horseback, I realized it might come off as dirty. So changing to a tennis. Okay, so you might say something like, to my tennis-loving mom, you served me my life when you understand what I'm saying? Bro. Yeah, you're trying to you're trying to get the messaging that's also niche down. It's the combination of both that's gold.
Yeah, it's like you're looking for a play on words.
That's right.
That makes sense within the niche.
That's right.
And by the way, to Chris's point here, I've seen this work on past winners before repeatedly. Ronnie McKenzie actually did this really well about a year ago. So,
by the way, I don't know if you know, Ronnie took private coaching with me several years ago.
No, I didn't know that. Well, honestly, I mean, I think we've all. I know I have. Everybody. If you're around long enough, you just So I want to highlight something else here real quick, and that is, and this is really for everybody watching. Notice how this is the second time now where Chris has basically said, do this, right? Go into a niche, go to like horse backing moms or tennis moms or whatever. And he said, but everybody's going to just put tennis moms because it's super freaking easy. So if you have a competitor that's in the tennis niche, they're going to go after tennis moms. But take it one step further. Try to outsmart the lazy guy. Try to go a step further than the lazy guy is going to go, because it will open up the market for you, right?
If you want success long-term in business, the best book that I've ever read is called The Slight Edge. And this guy goes through, I forgot his name, author, God, for some reason, he talks about all these businesses and the difference between the top one and the competitors. And if you analyze them, it's so minute. But the best one, the most successful one, is just slightly better products, slightly better customer service. Their website has slightly better images. it's these little detailed differences that makes such a difference, which is why, you know, a lot of people, they sit there and they sit there and they're in their own mind the whole time and they can't figure out what there's going on. So it's why you should maybe mastermind with someone, get some coaching, right? Bounce ideas, because often when you're in the picture, you can't see. When you're in the frame, you can't see the picture. Is what I mean. And you miss these little details that make the difference.
No, I love this. It reminds me of there's another phrase out there. It's like the difference between good and great is 5%.
That's right.
Like it's not that much, right? It's just not as many people are willing to do it. Extra 5%.
Or even think to do it.
Yeah. But like, I got to tell you, dude, this has been consistent every single time I think I've talked to you, consume one of your trainings, anything like that. This is a consistent message that you kind of preach, which is like, I'm not sure, constantly go one step further, right? Figure out what everyone else is going to do that, but go a step further. That's right. You know? So yeah, I love that, man.
Yeah. And thinking of a step further. Okay. And by the way, I'm not in any way, shape, or form criticizing message cards. I love message cards and I'm selling message cards. So go and sell message cards. I'm encouraging you to do that. But there's one problem, and that is everyone is selling message cards. Everyone. And the reason being is it's the easiest thing to do. You don't, I mean, literally an amateur, right, with an app, iPhone app or whatever, can easily come up with a text message to put on a card. Bang, you're good to go. Buy some images, right? I forgot what they call those images, but and you're good to go. Bang. Okay, so that's why. But you know what? Was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the message cards came out?
Something like that.
Okay, 2 or 3 years ago, the message cards. But ShineOn's been older than that. And before that, if you just go down your ShineOn product list, you're going to find these heart pin necklaces, these round necklaces, bracelets and stuff. And those, Mike, you've sold thousands and thousands of those things. Yeah, I've sold a good number of them too. So those things will still sell. And in fact, while everyone's rushing the message cards, and yes, you can test the message cards, why don't you pivot back to the old stuff? And here's the thing.
Go ahead.
It's harder to get the design made. You're probably going to have to pay someone in the Philippines or somewhere because it's tougher. I mean, they make a design really well on those parts because the space is pretty small and to get the message there. It's tougher. But you will be unique this Mother's Day.
So I have a few things to say about that. So I sold, I don't know how many thousands of those bangles. I sold bangles with circle pendants. No, I think I did circle and heart pendants. I sold a bunch of them. And what was cool was everybody was going after necklaces, and I did the whole zig when others zag thing. I went to bangles, and there's a gigantic market of people out there that will buy those freaking bangles. So that's one. Second thing is you can have the engraving upsell. That engraving upsell can add 10 to 15 bucks to your AOV like that. You can make as much money selling those as you can the message card jewelry. If they do the material upsell, so they go to the white, the yellow gold. Sorry, that's another upsell. So you have lots of opportunity for upsells to really maximize your AOV. And don't forget, you also have all the on-page stuff we have. We have the post purchases now. You've got the email flows if you know how to set those up. I mean, it's still a huge opportunity.
And with the upsells, you could really drop the front end price. And true, maybe 50% of people will take the front end price, but as long as you're breaking even on the front end price, and you sell thousands of them, you can make the money on the upsells.
Yep, and the back end and the cross sells and all kinds of stuff. So the last thing though with the pendants that I want to bring up is buyer upload, because it's Mother's Day, and I got to tell you that I see this every year. I see it at Christmas. I see it at Mother's Day. That the buyer upload with the sonogram image sells like freaking gangbusters. When we first got the buyer upload where people could upload a photograph, that was one of the first things I tested. I remember it was right before Christmas. And I came up with and what's cool is the buyer uploads actually sell with a message card. So it's actually it's a graphic pendant against a message card. So you can have a little message in there that's like, hey mom, I kicked you kicked I'm a bump now and I'm kicking you or whatever, right? Use your play on words like Chris is talking about. Make a cute little message and then have the, not the sonogram, the freaking ultrasound of the baby. Dude, those sell like freaking hotcakes.
One thing by the way, and they do, but here's the thing. I've noticed this is that a lot of people, first of all, a lot of people don't have the picture they want to use immediately available. So retargeting becomes a massive key thing. And now you should always retarget. You should always retarget anyway. But and I'm talking about the old, not the dynamic retargeting. I'm talking about the old school retargeting. You grab the sales page link, or you can just grab the end of your eye, just put the whole sales page just to be sure. You go into Facebook, you create a custom audience. Right now, create a custom audience and you retarget them. Now you should always be retargeting. Right, that's a good thing to do. But maybe when you first test out a product for the first few days, you don't need to retarget. But once you start making sales and stuff and it's working, retarget. But you should probably double or even triple your budget for those photo uploads, because a lot of people, I've seen this, cheap link list, get to the sales page, add to cart, and the cart abandonment rate on those, at least from what I've seen, is high. And I'm guessing that they don't have the picture. And so I noticed that the retargeting,
interesting point, man.
We up the budget, cranking.
Well, another angle on this is, and we're about to get into angles, so maybe it's a good segue, is target the new mom with the gift being for her grandma or her mom. So the baby's grandma.
That's great. That's
a great angle. She'll have
absolutely.
She'll have the photo.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, hopefully she's excited too. You know? So it's like kind of a perfect gift.
That's absolutely great.
And don't overlook those freaking Bengals. I'm telling you, they sell like gangbusters. So anyway, all right, let's bring this up here. Let's get into angles. So real quick I'm sorry, Chris, before we totally jump into that, let's I just want to recap really quick on Mother's Day, right? In the UK, it's on March 27th, right? So you're basically going to get a practice round at what we have going on in the US. 67 million people. It's a huge population that have really high average income. So you definitely want to take advantage of this holiday. Right, mum, not mom, right? That was an important distinction that you brought up. It's mum, right? No one calls their mom's mom over there.
Oh, very few, but yeah, very small minority.
Yeah, it must have been a weird thing. Like when we declared our independence and kicked them out, we were stealing this word back. I don't know. Then some humor differences, right? Yeah. So I wouldn't get too bent out of shape about this.
No, I wouldn't either. I would just test.
Yep. All right. So now let's talk about this. So we got these 5 angles here. Love, make fun of mom, humor, love with wit, and niche down. Do you want to maybe jump through these one at a time?
Yeah. I think the love one is pretty self-explanatory. It's what most people will sell. And in my opinion, this is the hardest one to sell. And because of 2 reasons. Number one, it's been the most common thing for a long, long time. So people are so used to seeing this in the newsfeed. Maybe not so much in the UK because it's a newer market, but especially in the United States, message cards with a loving expression is not new anymore. It's been going on for a few years now. So it's just really simple. That's to my mom, you're my rock. You supported me my whole life. I love you. If I couldn't be, live my life without you, I couldn't be, just pouring on the tear jerking phrases. You say, well, Michael's favorite phrase, if they cry, they buy type of phrase.
Right. Well, by the way, my point usually with that phrase is just, it's more just about moving people emotionally. And I think humor is the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. If you can any emotion, make somebody angry, make them grieve, make them cry because they feel touched by a romantic professional love, make them cry because they just got a ultrasound Bengal of their new grandbaby, right? Or make them freaking cry because they're laughing so hard. It doesn't matter. It's mainly just, you got to move people emotionally and they'll be more likely to buy. That's more the point. But I agree with you that everyone is going sentimental. Everyone is going soppy. everyone is going after these kind of cheesy phrases, right? And so, yeah, zig one other zag. That's back to your point here.
Okay, so if you're going to do the love angle, which, by the way, I'm not saying don't do love angle, you're going to have to put more effort into being unique in your phrase. That's when Franken phrases is going to come in very important. Okay? All right, good number call. 2, make fun of your mom. To my loving mom, thank you for almost poisoning me every day with your cooking. I mean, I'm actually I just thought that off the top of my head. I'm gonna put that write that down for me. I keep going. I'm gonna test that this year. So, I mean, guys, the gift for message cards is actually the necklace itself, right? So the message is just it's important. It's very important, but the actual gift is so. There's absolutely nothing wrong with making fun of your mom. And if you want to find good angles for this, go to Google Images and search funny Mother's Day coffee mugs. This has been going on with the coffee mug gift for decades. You're going to find thousands and thousands and thousands of ideas that you can test with the make fun angle, and they will sell on message cards. Okay. Next one, just plain humor, right? So, for example, give an example. I'm going to try to give you an example of each one of these, right? To my loving mom, sorry, because we're in the UK or mom in the United States. I know you're the greatest mom because look how awesome I turned out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that's just humor. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. That can work as well. Not really making fun of mom, but it's just a general humor. Okay. Now, number 4, this is my absolute favorite. Okay. To my loving mom. This is love and wit. To my loving mom, you're my rock. Thank you for supporting me all these years. I couldn't be where I am without you. Blah, 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 blah. And I was able to even survive your poisonous cooking. So it sounds like a loving phrase, but then you do. And by the way, the reason why I came up with this is the idea of a pattern interrupt, right? From speeches, right? I took speech. I was in the debate speech when I was in university club, right? And one thing that we did was to open up a speech, right, to get people's attention, is start off with something that they think it's going this way, and then twist it at the end. And then I think, wait a minute, that could work.
It's kind of a bait and switch, right?
Yeah, I saw loving messages working. I saw humor messages. I said, wait a minute, I can use a pattern interrupt and have a loving message, and at the end, a switch at the end. Yeah,
I dig it, man.
And then the last one we talked about a lot. This one, yeah, niche down your phrase, and this is not really an angle in and of itself, because basically you want to use number 5 in the combination of any of the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to take the 4 different angles I meant at the top: love, make fun of your mom, humor, and love with wit, and then you want to niche it. So it's really the 4th one I can't really say is an angle per se. It's just an enhancer.
I see what you're saying. You're basically saying niche down probably first. That's probably the first step. And then, like you said earlier, look for plays on words within the niche to kind of weave into a phrase, right?
That's right.
Figure out kind of what you have available in your toolbox.
That's right.
And then, you kind of move through testing different phrases. And like, these are tools, to create a powerful phrase, to take your phrase and make it a little something extra.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I dig that. So just for everybody that doesn't know, angles is just it's just a marketing term, right? So don't get bent out of shape there. He's basically these are different approaches, so to speak, right? Angles of attack on like how to create winning phrases, right?
That's exactly what I'm trying to map it. These are different strategies, right? We call them in marketing, we call them angles.
So I kind of want to recap here, and then I want to ask you for some testing methods. So be thinking about those. So if I could briefly recap, right? Here's kind of what I've learned. First of all, from a principle point of view, always zigging when people zag and going one extra step, looking for that slight edge, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
From a principal's point of view, those are good takeaways from today's call. So looking for that slight edge, zigging when other people zag. But when it came to the process, right, here's kind of what I heard. Step number 1, become a market master. Become a master of your niche. We're about to enter Mother's Day. Become a master at what is going to sell, right? And you can do that by going to Google, right, and searching for Mother's Day stuff to see what's sold in the past.
Amazon, Etsy, right? You can just get sort by bestsellers and just go look and ask yourself the question: why is this popular? Also, look at memes that are on Facebook that are getting thousands of shares, right, in that niche.
And the question is,
no one advertises it. No one advertises a meme. So if they're getting thousands of shares on a meme, that's organic.
Yep.
So
there's magic.
So there's something in that. So ask yourself the question. The key question is, why is it popular?
Yep, 100%, man. And you do that over and over. And Chris said it doesn't take that long. You can do this in a couple, 3-4 hours.
That's right.
One evening. But ask yourself why it's popular. And I would even take notes, especially if you're new here and this is your first time. Take notes. Start writing things down because you're going to notice trends. And the thing is you're trying to find the signals in the noise. Right?
That's
you're
right.
Trying to capture the signals, tune into them, because you'll develop kind of an intuition or a spidey sense for what's going to work in that particular niche. So that's step number 1, become a market master, right? Step number 2 is where you start doing your phrase research, right?
Yep.
And so the example that Chris used was he said for example, there's a ton of places you can go to do this, but if you go to Etsy or even AliExpress and you're looking for best sellers within the niche, right? Don't start on page 1, right? Everybody starts on page 1. It's low-hanging fruit. It's where everybody's going to go. Start on page like 5, right? Let that be your first page. And then go deep, right? Go down to page 10 or 11 or 12. And again, since hopefully at this point you've developed that intuition or the spidey sense, hopefully like things will kind of pop out at you that might have some potential, right?
That's right.
And this is where what you can do is start to create your phrase bank.
That's right.
Right? You can start to bank up things that might work in this particular niche.
And plus, because also you're going so deep in the research, if you think what you're seeing is right, you can just go ahead and borrow that phrase and put it on the message card.
Yeah, seriously.
Because other people are not looking at that deep in the search.
Yeah, it's not being used by everybody yet.
That's right.
Right? So make your phrase bank, or if you see something unique that is relatively new and obviously isn't copyrighted, you can just try that. So once you have your bank of phrases, you can do the Frankenphrase method or whatever people want to call it, and you can just kind of patchwork together your own unique phrase based on the things that you think are going to work.
That's correct.
Right? And then here are the 5 angles that Chris gave us for how you can these are just tools you can use to make your phrase pop a little bit, right? So the first 3 up here, these are like angles you can take on the phrase itself that work in the past. So you got lovey-dovey, right? The sentimental, the soppy, the cheesy, that's worked. You can make fun of mom, right? Because everyone's doing the lovey-dovey. So if you go kind of this angle here and you kind of poke at mom herself, that's kind of unique. It's different. It'll turn heads. It'll stand out in the news feed. If you make somebody chuckle, they're going to be 10 times more likely to buy it. I guarantee it. Than if they just scroll past. And then you can also use humor. So this is just a different play on number 2. Rather than poking at mom, you could use self-deprecating humor where you make fun of yourself.
You can make fun of yourself, absolutely.
Or you can talk about how your mom's favorite compared to the brother. I mean,
that's it.
That's
a great angle. From your favorite sibling.
Yeah, there you go.
Favorite child, right? From your favorite child.
Yeah. And Chris said if you want some examples of some humor in the niche, it's easy to just go search for Mother's Day mugs, Mother's Day T-shirts, even though I don't know how many of those there are out there. But mugs in particular, I mean, they're always sarcastic. They're always funny. That's what works on mugs. So you can kind of take that for inspiration. Then these last 2, I think of these more like tools. Tell me if you think I'm wrong there. Love with wit and niching down. So loving with wit, this this is where you have kind of a turn of phrase. It's a bait and switch, not a turn of phrase, a bait and switch, right? I can't remember the exact phrasing you use, but it's where you
pattern interrupt.
It's a pattern interrupt. Start lovey-dovey, and then at the end, switch it and hit them with some humor, right?
That's right. Exactly.
Basically what you're doing. And then niching down. This is where find your phrase, right? Like find something that works really well kind of up here, and then see if you can take it down into a niche. Tennis, knitting is a huge niche. I can't remember some of the others. You mentioned the motorcycle niche being surprisingly big. I know camping.
Golf, camping, golf, hunting. Yeah. You'd be surprised. I mean, there's so many things. Just go search what knitting, gardening, search what shopping, right? Shopping is a big niche, right?
Yeah, totally.
Gardening unsuccessfully, but last year I did try a couple shopping ones for this year I'm going to get a shopping niche to work.
Yeah,
guys, and that's what I'm self-thinking myself. Not everything I test works. Woo, it's true.
Yeah, well, failure is just a part of this game.
Absolutely.
So niche it down. Get into one of these niches and look for kind of a play on words within the niche you can weave into the phrase that you've chosen, because that's what will take it really to the next level.
Yeah, then that's the key with niching down. I mean, it's really easy to just say to my horseback your mom and have a little horse image, but no. Think about use the word horse and saddle and riding in the phrase. Stable. I don't know. I mean, what other horseshoe? Right? Try to weave those words in.
Yeah, I wish we had before this. I would have found some really good examples. One off the top of my head I saw last year was something like let's see, a fishing husband to a wife is what I think the gift was for. And it was like, I'm so glad I was able to hook you and reel you in, or something like that. But that's
you're the best catch. I saw that one thing. You're the best catch of my life.
There you go.
You're the best. I think really, when you were the best fish I ever caught in my life, something like that.
Yeah, there you go, man. So those are the play on words that you're looking for that are niche specific. Now, the other big takeaway here, and then I'm going to turn it back over to you, Chris, for those testing methods. The other big takeaway was, you said, look, lots of people are doing the standard message card jewelry, right?
That's right.
So try to change it up a little bit. And so one of the things ShineOn offers is we've got the graphic pendants.
That's right.
And it's a little harder to make designs for the graphic pendants, so they're not used as much. But we have graphic pendants. Another thing that we have that I brought up is the buyer upload stuff, which for Mother's Day is mainly going to work in the ultrasound niche. We kind of talked through that, and we kind of both agreed that maybe the clever approach there in this particular niche would be to target moms buying something for maybe their grandmas. So like new moms, like moms that perhaps are carrying or pregnant, buying one of these buyer upload gifts where they can upload an ultrasound image and then gift that to the grandparent, right? Something like that might work really well. The other thing I want to remind people of is we have metal art now, right?
So metal art can be good.
Metal art is in the house, so maybe you can find an angle on metal art. So, all right.
The metal art, right? You can't make your own design right now, right? You have to use the design already made.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. That is the current limitation.
When we talk about targeting, I want to talk about targeting for metal art, but I want to step back before we go into targeting, and this is really critical. And I know, because I've seen some other of these Coffee Michaels, I'm not the first guy to say this, right? But I want to emphasize this because I'm seeing it done all over and over and over again, and you could be a total newbie, is your design on the message card. People want to use these fancy fonts because it looks good. But guys, think about this for a second. The next time you're at a bar or a pub or a restaurant or wherever, right, or a coffee shop, and someone's got their phone open and they're on Facebook, I want you to watch the speed in which they scroll through the newsfeed.
Yeah,
you got this split second to catch their attention, and if they can't read it easily, at least a good portion of it, right, they're gone. So you can use a little bit of fancy fonts maybe on the bottom part, right, but in the main part to catch their attention, it's got to be really, really readable. Okay. It can't be ugly, but it's got to be readable, right? And so that's one thing. And then the other thing is, if I see more hearts and flowers on message cards, I'm gonna puke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that, and I'm sorry for my language, but it's just. Can people be more creative than that?
Well, the real question is, why is Facebook showing them to you? Oh, probably because you're doing all the research. Yeah, that's probably what's going on there.
It's just insane. And also, I go into Google and I search ShineOn message card things, and like 90% plus of the message card designs has a flower or flowers or hearts or a combination of both.
Well, there you go, man. Zig when others zag, right?
Do something different.
Yep. So let's talk about. So I think we did fairly good kind of recapping all the big takeaways from today's call. Let's talk. I want people to have kind of a testing method. Let's pretend they've got the perfect phrase and they've gone in now. They've done all the stuff we've talked about. They've uploaded to ShineOn.com or the platform or whatever. Now they're ready to test inside of Facebook. This is another place where you have a relatively unique approach. So,
and I know some. I personally believe in reading the data. So for example, okay, I like to use small budgets because I think you're better off testing many different prototypes. So if your marketing budget is say $1,000, or that's probably high for let's say your marketing budget is $500 for the entire Mother's Day period, right? Most people are gonna go and they're gonna spend $100 on this one, $100 on that one, $50 on this one, $50 on that one. And then bang, they tested 10 products and they've blown their budget. And okay, I have to save up for next holiday.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. So I do things differently. Okay, and I like to set up 3 $5 conversion ad sets, 2 to 3. Okay, and if you think that's too small, do $10 ones, right? But here's the thing. You got to read the data. Read the data, okay? And there's 3 data points. There's cost per purchase, cost per link click, cost per add to cart. And I literally don't pay any attention to anything else. I know that's shocking, but I don't care what the CTR is. The CTR could be $1 million per 1,000 videos. All I care about is the cost per purchase, cost per link click, cost per add to cart, okay? And a true winner will have a good cost per. I posted this in the group like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? We'll have a good cost per purchase, a good cost per link click, and a good cost per add to cart. Now, and I know this. I'll give you an example right now. A private coach I'm working, right, who's selling one of those chains to men, right? He sold one almost out of the bat, okay? And then a day goes by, and he spent like $15. He had one sale. He's like, yeah, it was like $50 profit. Chris, this is a winner. I said, dude, I don't think this is a winner. And he goes, why? I go, look at your link click cost. He had 3 link clicks.
Yeah, and just you got
3 link clicks. Just think about this.
On $15 spend.
$15 spend, and he made his purchase. So, but then and he goes, no, I really want to leave it running. So I said, go ahead. Let's leave it running for 2 days. We'll see what happens. He got 4 more link clicks in 2 days. No more sales. And then he said, Chris, you're right. So there will sometimes be this phantom purchase. Somehow, out of magic, the one or few number of people who like the product happen to see it early, and then you get all excited. A winning product, I always say this. You've heard me say this. Will reveal itself. It'll be obvious.
Yeah.
You'll be getting good cheap add to carts, good cheap link clicks, and good cost per purchase. You will have no doubt in your mind. It'll be obvious. And in fact, later on, I'll post a screenshot in the ShineOn group of some data that I got from a private coach just yesterday. And I can say what the product is, but that's what a winner looks like. It's obvious. So given that case, and so what's happening in the marketplace is people will set up these $20, $30, whatever budget ads, and they're being told, right? And I know maybe I'm stepping on some toes here, and I apologize, but they're saying, let it run for 2 or 3 days. It's not working. Kill it. That doesn't make sense to me. I like to start small budgets, and then I tell my students, what I'm looking for day one is cost per link click. If I'm getting $1 or less or $1.50 or less, over a couple of assets, okay, this might be something. Let's let it roll. But if I'm not, $10 spend, cost is hype, next.
Yeah. And what's interesting is this strategy in particular, because with iOS 14 and some of the issues around the data, the cost per link click is something tracked right there inside of Facebook. So
that's right. It cannot be distorted. Facebook knows
it's 100% accurate. So I like that.
So yeah, I kill stuff quickly, even after sometimes 5, even after, yeah, usually around, I let it go till 10. But if I'm not, after $10, if I'm not seeing cost per link clicks to me that show promise, next. But then I can spread my testing budget over many different products.
It does take, I mean, keep in mind, a lot of our audience here is they're new. A lot of them are relatively new. And it does take some experience buying on Facebook before, experience with your niche to kind of know what those price points are. I think $1.50 is a great rule of thumb, though. I mean, if you start getting too much higher than that, it's especially with our price points.
That's what I've nailed down for the jury. For other products, I even go lower, but for the jury, I've noticed $1.50 or less. I mean, maybe $1.70 if I'm getting add to carts. Right, I'll let it roll a little longer. If I'm seeing add to carts, then I'm
You kind of do that on $5 a day over 3 days. Is that how you?
Yes, yeah, and if I'm getting sales, I start adding more ad sets, and then the next step is I start. One thing that's really working is these days is raising the budget on the assets that are working, right? So in the morning, go up to 25. If that works, go up to 50. And then if I'm seeing sales consistently for about a few 4 or 5 days, then I start testing with CBOs. And guys, I have some masterful CBO techniques. You've seen some of the screenshots I posted. People are crushing it with CBOs. They're scaling, but that's the whole. You're gonna have me on again for that one.
Yeah. Well, dude, we can. I'd be happy to. So I just want to make sure that people leave with something actionable here. So $5 a day over 3 days, so about $15 on the test. And does it matter which day they start the test? Or
no, I don't think it matters at all. In fact, for those small budgets, I don't think it matters what time you start your ads. I mean, when you get into larger budget ads, like $100, $500, whatever, yes, starting in the morning is key. But for those small budgets, start at any time.
And it sounded like you said, okay, so $5 a day, 3 days. So total of $15 on the test. Any 3 days, doesn't really matter. And you're looking for a link click cost of $1.50 or less.
That's right. To keep that ad set going.
Yeah, I love it, man. Dude, thanks a lot for coming on. This was awesome. The next time you come on, though, I want to get slides made up first because your stuff is gold, and I want to be able to capture it kind of on screen for everybody, just so it's easy for people to kind of follow along. You drop bombs as always, man, and I love it. And it's specifically, I don't know why. You and I both know it's the phrase that makes a product a winner or not, right? That phrase is it's literally everything. So when you find somebody with like a unique approach to phrases, it's gold. So I'll share this with you because you probably haven't seen it. Anna Beck told me this killer strategy. I about fell over when she told it to me. She looks for open letters. So like open letter to mom, open letter to daughter, something like that. And dude, it seems like a no-brainer, but like people pour their guts out in those letters. And she'll go there for gold, and she'll write up some of her own phrases. I was just like, man, that's amazing. And then, did you have a comment? Because I
you know what, you've inspired me to reveal 2 other things that I wasn't planning to do. But go ahead, I'll do it. Wait a second.
Okay, so the other one that kind of stood out to me was Matt Schmidt. Those guys over at Scup. What he was doing was they'll find a winning phrase, and he'll try to figure out what the punchline is in the phrase. And then he'll just, because that's like the integrity of the phrase, if that makes sense, that punchline. He'll rewrite the phrase 3, 4, 5 times, trying to maintain the integrity of it until it's basically in his own words.
That's great.
So it's not, it's the phrase, but it's not. It's got different clothes on, right?
That's right.
And he'll freaking go test with that. And every now and then you get this little gold nugget. It's amazing. And I feel like you take the research stuff to just a whole different level, man. And since the phrase is everything, it just these are things you want to write down and never lose for those of you that are listening. But okay, spill the beans, man. You teased us. What are these other two?
Gift cards are gold.
Like greeting cards?
Greeting cards are gold.
Like Hallmark and stuff
Hallmark
like that?
cards, exactly. Go in and look at the phrases being used on greeting cards. And also love song lyrics. And for the loving expression and for humor and making fun of mom or making fun of yourself, whatever, the blues. They sit there and rip themselves over and over again. Blues and country music.
That's super clever, dude. Now, caveat: don't use anything word for word.
No, you can't. Yeah, that's why it's copyrighted. So you've got to make your own phrase, but you can use this as inspiration.
No, I got to cover our legal basis here. Yeah. ShineOn is not encouraging anybody to rip off song lyrics and stuff.
And neither am I. Neither
is Chris Blair.
You can take the phrase and twist it in your own words. Then it's original.
Inspiration, baby.
That's right.
I love it, man, dude. Thank you a ton for coming on. So tell if people want to learn more about you, if they want to connect with you, you've mentioned your coaching here a few times. Where can people find you?
Okay, so I don't think your ShineOn group. That's a group coaching thing, right?
Yes. Well,
okay,
we do group coaching. We offer one-on-one. Okay. I don't have all the details though.
Okay, I only offer coaching one-on-one. That's just, I like to work personally with someone. I think I can help them get the best results away. So if you're interested in my private coaching, you can private message me, and we can work it out. So I'll give you the details then. The other way is if you just want access to my course and my mastermind and the Facebook group that I have, you can go to ecomvantage, VANTAGE.com. Michael's in there, right?
Yeah, I bought it.
Michael's also coaching. Yeah, and coaching me in the past too as well. So go there. It's $100 a month or $1,000 a year to be in. It doesn't include private coaching, but I do answer all questions in the Facebook group.
Yeah, so it's like the word advantage, except with ecom.
That's right.
Right, ecom vantage.
Ecom vantage. That's right.
Yep. So hey, Chris, do me a favor. I'm going to tag you in this post. Mm-hmm. I want you to, when this post goes live, I want you to come comment on it so people can find your name.
That's right. Sure.
They can reach out to you really easy. All right. I got a few slides here just to wrap us up. If you like ShineOn, you like what we're doing here, do us a favor. Tell your friends. If you tell your friends, you can earn some money. So for anybody here that's watching this, if you've had 100 sales with ShineOn, you get your referral link automatically unlocked. So you can just log into your dashboard, go to analytics, then referrals. Right up here in the top right is your magic referral link. I want you to take this and I want you to give it to your mom, your dad, text your brothers and your sisters. I want you to send it to all your friends on Facebook, any Facebook group that you're in. This is the best gift you could possibly give somebody. Tell them about ShineOn. We're the greatest entrepreneurial opportunity in the history of the world. They'll be delighted to know that we exist. So please go share this with your friends. Every time they make a sale, if they come through this link, they sign up. Every single time they come through, they make a sale, you're going to get 75 cents on the sale. And we have had people make absolute bank through the referral program. I do not remember what the cap is, but it's some absurd number. It was over 6 figures, if I remember correctly. So we have had people absolutely make bank on this. So don't sleep on this. Tell others about us, please. And thank you. And then finally, until next time, if you want to sell with ShineOn.com and you've never used us, go to ShineOn.com, sign up. It takes 60 seconds to make your account, to get inside. You'll see our catalog. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free, right? We don't make any money unless you make a sale, and we just keep a little cut of the commission, right? So it's a great opportunity. ShineOn.com to look into that. If you're watching on YouTube right now and you're not in our Facebook group, you need to go do that. Something's wrong with you. bit.ly/GoShineOn to join the Facebook group. bit.ly/GoShineOn to join our Facebook group. If you're watching on Facebook and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to go out there and give us some love. YouTube.com/C/ShineOnPod to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then finally, you can also follow us on Instagram @ShineOn. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the next one.
everybody. Yeah, it was a blast, dude. We'll definitely have you on again for sure.
Awesome.
Until
Cheers.
next time, everybody. Happy selling.